Story time. Who got the tea? Who got the tea? Yeah. Story time. Who got the tea? She got the tea. Yeah. Anything you need to know. Story time. Just tune into the show. Story time. Story time. Story time.
Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of Tory Talk. I am sitting here with author, my very first author, Chante Miller. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Thank you for coming and being on the show. Like, for me, it's always so nice, like, to see that people are doing things. I mean, and to be so young and then to be an author of not one, but what, 2 books now? 3 books? 3 books. So we're definitely going to jump into all of that. Again, thank you for taking the time. I'm going to start with a little, like, icebreaker that we do. Okay. So I'm going to ask you about 2 or 3 questions, and then we're going to jump right into your interview, okay? All right, perfect. So, growing up, what was your favorite book to read?
My favorite book it's called Torn by Keisha Knight. It's basically about, like, a girl who's in love with a guy who doesn't treat her right.
Story my daggone life.
And I read this in junior high school, so I read it like every year. I love this book so much. It's relatable to a lot of females and what they go through. I just love it.
Oh, good. That's something else I gotta read because I'm always reading a book here and there. So
Do you have a favorite book?
I don't really have a favorite book because I read so many books. It's like I really don't have a favorite. When I was younger, for sure, my favorite book was Stargirl. I read that book. I cried like every time. And again, it was like another book about a girl being in love with a boy, but it was more like she was all weird and everybody was all mean to her, and he was like the only nice person.
Yeah.
This is me.
Oh my goodness.
So definitely that was our favorite when I was young, for sure. Yeah. So our next question would be, if you could tell your younger self anything about book writing, what would you say?
Don't wait to do it. Don't doubt yourself. Just go for it. The main reason why I waited so long, I actually started writing my first book in college, undergrad, which was 5 years ago, 5 to 6 years ago.
Don't say the girl we owe. Don't tell her
I
that. Jesus.
I know. And I didn't put the book out until last year. And that's because there's so many authors out there that I was doubting myself, like, who's going to like the book? Who's going to read it? It's so many people, but it's enough space for everybody. It's enough room for everybody to be an author or start a clothing line or do whatever you want to do. That's what I would have told my younger self. Just do it if you want to do it. Don't wait until you're old and you doubt yourself more. Just go for it.
Okay, perfect. Yay. And last question. If you were going to be writing the story of your life today, let's say, right? What would you name your book? I know it's kind of hard. What would you name your book?
The name of my book would be A Mess.
Yeah.
A Mess.
I was thinking mine would be like turmoil, tragedy. Like
A Mess.
A Mess.
Yes.
So, A Mess, the Chante Miller story.
Yes.
And hopefully we'll get that one day. So, you heard it first here. She had to write a memoir.
You don't
Mess.
want to read that mess. No.
Okay, great. Thanks so much. So let's jump into your interview. So as you were saying, like you kind of always start with like the history because I'm really interested in hearing how like people were and growing up and more so what you thought you wanted to be opposed to what you ended up doing. So when you were young, were you like how were you? Were you a person that read books all the time? Did you always want to be a writer? Like how was growing up, Chante?
Okay, when I was elementary school, no, I didn't read a lot of books. But junior high school and college, I read books every day, and it was so bad that I read the urban books. I didn't read the kid books. I just was so into the urban books, and I think that's why I take a liking to writing them because I just love reading about it. It's so realistic. It's relatable. It just catches the eye. It's just a page turner. Like, oh my God, this is happening. What's gonna happen next? I just love it.
Do you remember what your first like urban book was that you read when you were in junior high school?
I think it was Torn.
Oh, it was Torn? Oh, okay.
And that book was maybe 350 pages. Maybe it's so long. It's a thick book. I love it so much. I love it.
And what made that like your favorite? What drew you to that book? I mean, if you know it was your first, what made you feel like now I gotta read it every single year?
It was just relatable how you can have a first love and you think that's gonna be the guy you want to be with for the rest of your life, and it's the complete opposite. He changes, you find somebody new, and it's like, oh, this is my happiness, and what I've been dealing with, that isn't love. So I just love it. I don't know.
Okay, so you said you were in undergrad, so like what were you really like studying there? And like I'm assuming now that like you're not a little girl anymore, you have more experiences. You said you started, you know, writing your book there. So what made you, one, what were you technically like, you know, writing about then? And then two, what made you wait to publish it if you did it when you were in college or started when you were in college?
Okay, so the book my first book is the book I was writing in undergrad, but it was about 3 girls, 3 roommates that were best friends, and in my book I put out, it was just 2 best friends, and they were roommates. I changed a lot in the book. I think over the years my writing style changed, so when I read it, it was like, oh, I don't really need this, like it's not important. So I just took it out and put new stuff in it. What was that question? Oh,
No, you're fine. So it was just like, what did you actually study? And then why did you take so long to put it out?
Okay.
Then I guess that kind of answered it. You said it was like you changed your writing style.
Okay, my first year going into school, my major was nursing.
Is this the mess part?
It's all a mess. My major was nursing. 2 months into school, I changed it to business.
Okay.
And now I regret changing it. I wish I would have kept it nursing, but it is what it is. I'm working in the office with business, so it's not like it's a wasted degree.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, well, you know, it happens to best. It's like, for me, mine was always communications. I mean, hence all of this. But I mean, it was like, honestly, when I was in high school, I really thought I was going to be like a fashion design major. I used to like draw stuff all the time. And then when I found out that you couldn't really like go to an actual like fashion design school and it'd be like a real college, that kind of shifted me out of it.
Yeah.
So who knows what happened with that, but
That's
it used to when I thought I was going to go to fashion school in New York and draw, and I was applying and everything. Like,
no, that's like in high school, I wanted to be a hairstylist, and I'm like, what happened to that? Like, I
completely lost it.
Yes, it's just like so much I wanted to do, and then it's just like I didn't. So.
Well, now you're doing this, which is way better for you, obviously, than before. So it's perfect. So let's jump into that. So 3 books. So let's talk about, you know, just give me the title, the premise about all 3 of your books, like how your process was when you were writing them, you know, and like how you got to be a published author.
Okay.
Your journey.
The first 2 books I call A Savage with a Heart of Gold, 1 and 2, and then the 3rd book is Falling for Your Charm. Writing those books, it was really a struggle because it's authors out here who put out books every month.
Really?
Yes. But I really wanted that to be me, but I have to realize those people, that's their full-time job.
Yeah.
They don't have anything else. All they have is writing. That's all they do all day long, every day. I have a job. I'm in school. I'm trying to write all these books. It's just not realistic. So it takes a minute. I get writer's block a lot. It's just like I can't write. Then it's like, what if they don't like this? Should I write about this? And then it's a lot. It's frustrating. It's so frustrating.
I can imagine. But so like, tell us what the first 2 books were about, and then obviously it's like a 1 and 2. So tell us what those books were actually about, and then your 3rd book.
Okay, so you have to go on Amazon.com to really read the book.
Order my book.
But 1 and 2 is about, you know, a girl who's growing up. She's a hairstylist, and her ex comes home from jail, her first love. She has a little girl, but when they rekindle, he finds out all of these secrets she's been hiding, and then it's just a bunch of drama and love. And then Falling for Your Charm is a girl in high school who, it's about bullying. Like you said, a guy, like a Prince Charming guy, he's like comes to her rescue, helping her, defending her. It's about that, and they kind of just fall in love with each other.
Oh, how sweet.
And I've been getting a lot of emails and DMs and people messaging my publisher about when part 2 is coming out, and I'm writing part 2 now.
Jesus, leave her alone. Y'all treat her like y'all treat Rihanna. If I see one more thing about Rihanna in this CD, I'm like, look.
I know.
Leave her be. Because if she come out too early, y'all gonna be criticizing it. Let her work. Let her work at her own time.
Yes.
Hey, let Chante work. The book is coming.
Yes. But I did skip over part 2 of that, and I have a new book coming out next week.
Exclusive.
I know. It's called Foolish for Loving You. I don't have the book cover as of yet, but it's coming out next week. And
That's so exciting. Congratulations. Are you excited? How long did that one take to write?
That one took me February, May.
Girl, you wrote that fast. Listen to me. I said this book is only May, but you wrote that fast. Good for you. Look, already getting quicker.
I know.
Well, you know you're going to have a book every month, just like everybody else you be talking about.
I'm trying.
You will. I have no doubt about it.
Yeah.
So one thing I want to ask you, I've always found kind of just interesting about like the urban book writing is like the art on the front. Like, how does that whole thing happen? Do you like pick the models or pick the people, or like do they pick it for you?
Okay, so if you're self-publishing, you get to pick the models and whatever you want on your cover. But because I'm with a publishing company, I just give her my title and the book to edit, and then she just sends it to the graphic designer, and they'll pick for me.
So how does that work? Do you get like multiple different looks? So they give you like one like, girl, this is what your book gonna look like.
No, they'll send you an email like, here you go. Here's your you can post it on Facebook, Instagram, wherever you want to post it. Here you go.
Well, good thing. I mean, luckily, I think you like the ones that you have. So because I've always wondered that. I was like, how do they pick these people? Like, they're like, do you have to go to the shoot? Like, I'm like, because I always imagine like when they're doing that, it's like a description of the people that you wrote about, and they try to pick them up.
And then some of the people, a lot of people on the covers are just Instagram famous people, like Instagram models.
Really?
That have pictures out there that they don't even care.
Learn something new every day. So, because I just saw it was like, okay, so the girl on the cover is
No.
a light-skinned girl with this and that. So in the book, the girl, and it was like, oh, so they don't even have to match you with your thought process.
I actually wanted to be on my first book cover for my first book, but it didn't go like that. It didn't. I did a photo shoot. I did everything. I did a video. I did a photo shoot. I sent in my pictures, and the publisher was like, no.
That was not nice. I'm sure the pictures were beautiful. I'm gonna say, come on now.
I didn't like them either, but
I do like our own pictures, girl. Don't worry.
I'm like, okay. So it just worked out because I didn't like them, she didn't like them, whatever.
Okay, well, good to know because I definitely was always wondering about that. So the next question I would have for you now. I know you said like one of the things is like I guess is the hardest about it like is the writing, but what would you say has been like difficult? Because even with this show, it's like when you put something out, of course you want somebody to like it, you want somebody to read it, you want somebody like to follow it. But like, do you felt like you had like a lot of naysayers in the beginning, and like how did you combat that, or was everybody like super supportive? And what was like the hard parts of it for you, other than writer's block?
I didn't have any naysayers. I just had people like, okay, when is it coming out? When, like, what's going on? Can we help? Da da da. You should do, what do you call those things?
What, like?
I forgot. Well, you know how you have something, you put it out and they
Oh, like a reading? Like you go and read your book and all that?
Not that.
Oh man.
You know how you start a company and it's like, okay, go present it to everybody.
Oh, like a launch thing?
Yes.
Oh, like a book launching.
So I'm just like, no, I don't want that. I don't want that at all. So they were supportive. My first book, it made a lot of money. Even
plug. So I guess we know who need to be helping me fund Tory Talk. So I take out the money.
No, it's a lot of cons and pros of being published. That's
so, yeah, talk about those. What are they? Because I mean, you know, if I want to write me a little memoir, what would you say the pros and cons are?
Okay. First, I was with another publishing company, and it was just the worst experience ever in my life. And it was like, it was nothing I can do because I was stuck in a contract. And if I leave, they can sue me. Mm-hmm. So it ended up working out for me because she was just like, I'm done with the company. And I'm like, okay, my contract is done, so whatever. I'm gone.
Good. Thank you, lady.
So I had wrote my first book, and she read it, and her and the person under her, they were basically trying to change everything I wrote.
Your whole book?
Oh, you should write more. Oh, no, I don't like the description. Oh, no, da-da-da. Like, it was just so much. The name, everything. So then I found my new publishing company, and it just was a hit. Like, it wasn't.
See, when things go better, there's always something that's going to go better. And that was it.
But it's still pros and cons.
Yeah.
Because I think self-publishing, you have your royalties to yourself. That's a good thing. But you still have to do all the work by yourself. Mm-hmm. And you have to learn how to do the graphics. You got to find an editor. You got to find test readers. You have to, and if you're a new author, it's like nobody knows your name. Nobody knows anything. So promoting your book is like, okay, who are you?
Yeah.
And why do I want to buy this book?
Why do I want to read it?
But with my publishing company now, it's like everybody under it supports me, so they'll post about my book, and then their readers will read it and comment about it. It's just the only thing I don't like is me splitting my royalties. That's the only thing.
I mean, yeah, I want all of my money, okay? I can totally
get it. Like, you're
totally understand that.
You're doing the edits and the test readers, and you're doing the book cover.
Yeah, you are doing some stuff. I get it. But well, good. So, another thing that I was kind of like interested to kind of like talk to you about, like I think at the top of the interview, you pretty much said that like don't feel like it's too many people doing what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Would you say that it's like the urban book is like a very saturated type of like feel? Is it like more than we know of, or is it like you can be a breakout star and you be like everybody knows your name type of look?
It's so many authors.
I imagine
it's so many authors. Honestly, being an author reminds me of, if anybody watches reality TV like Real Housewives of Atlanta or Love and Hip Hop, with all that drama, that's how it is.
We should do like an expose on the like urban book world undercover.
It really
about
is
all
like
that's really going on. That'd be. Hold on, wait. Let me not say this too much, for I be giving people steal my ideas. Okay, I'm gonna say while I'm thinking out loud. Let me shut up before somebody come and try to steal my idea.
It's so much drama that goes on, and it's just I don't understand it because it's like you can have a name similar to somebody, and they're like, "Oh, you trying to be like me?" Or like, and it's like,
"What's your name?"
What? Like, no, like the title of the book.
The title of the book. Oh, okay.
Like, or you can have their model on your book, which everybody.
You just said you can't control that.
Everybody, book covers are like recycled. Mm-hmm. You'll have a different man than another person, but the same female. So it's like it's nothing you can do, but it's just so catty, and it's just like, it's just so much.
I can imagine, and it's like that with everything. And the thing about it is like the one thing I think is interesting. The one reason why I really wanted you on here because one, you're young, one, you're black, one, obviously you're from this area, which is what the show is about. But it's kind of like these books are like written by us, for us. So it's kind of like that's something that's so positive, and I feel like that's something that we as a community should be promoting more of. I feel like because there are stories essentially.
Yeah.
And we can relate to it, and we don't talk about that. Like, did you notice that when you were like first thinking about whether to do urban books or just like regular like nonfiction or whatever? Did you like you really wanted to do that? What was your reasoning for it?
For urban book, it's relatable. That's just like I was just telling my makeup artist a few hours ago about my fourth book, and I was just telling her what it's about, and she was like, "Girl, you reading my life right now." And it's like it's relatable. Like anybody can relate to it. A lot of females can relate to everything in these urban books. Whether they want to admit to it or not, I mean, you can relate to it. I mean, I don't know. I know I can to a lot of them.
I mean, I feel like I'm like, no, this is definitely me.
Yes.
And the good and the bad parts about it are definitely me. What can we look forward to you like up and coming? So I know you got a book coming out next week. Yay, excited.
So I'm in the process of copywriting my first children's book.
Yay, look at a kid's book.
I I know.
So exciting.
And then I'm starting a stationery company.
Oh, nice.
Like notebooks and calendars and pens, cups. It's a lot of stuff. So that's what I'm working on now. I still have to do my 5th book that I'm working on. And
Girl,
I know.
don't worry about that. You about to put out another book and you put it out in like 3 months. I think you good. They can wait on the 5th book a little bit. If you enjoy this, go on your little press tour with this 4th book. Like no.
I would.
You can, why not? I mean, that part, you can do that on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, this is a vehicle to help. Other things are out here to help. Like, girl, you go ahead and promote this book.
I know.
You can. Don't you worry about it. I have all the faith that that's going to happen for you.
Thank you.
You are very welcome, and I'm very excited. What advice would you give someone now who's like going to watch this interview, or someone who's like at home and thinking about doing this themselves? Like, what would you say they should do if they want to be an author, whether urban or not?
Do your research about self-publishing and being published. Make sure you choose wisely of what you want to do. Don't doubt yourself. Do not. Keep positivity around you in your mind. Make sure you focus. If you have writer's block, it's normal. Take a break. Do not finish, because if you have writer's block and you keep trying to write, it's like you're just writing like blah 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 on the paper. So just take a break and just breathe, and it'll come naturally. So you just have to, be calm. Take a nap, do something, like watch TV, listen to music, it'll come to you. Just do it. Don't doubt yourself. If you want to do something, just do it.
Perfect. I have a lot of people who say just do it, and it's like, it sounds so simple, but it's so hard at the same time. But it's like, they're like, just do it. And you would be surprised. You'll be surprised how the fact that you just took like the leap is all you kind of needed to do.
It's so simple.
Yeah,
it is.
I mean, that's what I did here. It was like I was taking so long, trying to figure out how I wanted it, trying to get my logo, trying to get all these things together, trying to I don't have money for this, and this. And then it was like, I literally was sitting down on the train one day and was like, you know what? I'm going to just do this.
Yeah,
And
because
just did it.
The longer you wait, the longer you're not going to do it.
That is so true.
Even if you want to start a clothing line and you don't have the money to do blah, 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 like promote yourself so that you get followers to be aware of what you're about to do until you're able to have the stuff you want to sell or whatever. Because if you start and you don't have nobody to buy anything, it's like, okay, I did all this for what?
Yeah, that's true.
Now I'm struggling trying to get people to buy this when I could have promoted myself in the beginning to like help me out a little bit.
Yeah, words to live by. I'm gonna say, if you gonna use this Instagram thing, y'all do it for the right reasons.
Yes.
Please. We have it out here for us. When people didn't have this before, like the way we get to do stuff is not how they used to do it before. So use your resources and use them properly. I can't stress it enough, Lord. Well, you have something on this floor.
I do.
And I've been eyeing it like,
What's
that over
I
there?
got a gift for
I'm
you.
like, what's that over here?
Yes, I wanted to give you a little gift.
Oh, thank you. I love you. I be giving gifts and people give me gifts. Oh, yeah! This is book number 1.
Yes.
So, see, what she's trying to do here is she want to get me hooked on all her books so that I can be, because I'm midway through the book I'm reading now, as most of y'all know if y'all follow me. So I'm like, about to go on a trip. This may be my on the plane book. I'm about to finish that other book and get right into it. Thank you so much for my book. I can't wait to read it. And I hope you guys will go to Amazon and read it. So please, Chante, thank you so much for sitting down with me. I'm so excited to read your book and for your book for next week and your child's book and all the amazing things that you're about to do.
Thank you.
Please tell the people at home where they can follow you, email you, like you got a website, all of that, so they can, right after this,
I know.
go do it. And I don't play those games. This is me. Go and do it. We got to support each other, y'all. We have to start putting money back into our own communities. We have to start investing in ourselves. And no shade, but the people who look like us, we got to start helping them. We got to start doing better at this. I am definitely a new fan. I already know. Look, I knew about the book for a long time. Me and Chante have different history, but I don't want y'all all in our business. So I've known about it for quite some time. So please let them know.
Okay, so you can follow me on Instagram at bluerose.chante. You can follow me on Facebook at Loyalty and Love. And then my email is chante.miller@hotmail.com.
Don't forget about the Amazon.
Oh yeah, Amazon. On Amazon, just search Chante Miller and it'll come up.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much again. Thank you guys for tuning in. I can't wait until I get to have you back on the show for whenever you have whatever more books or whatever you got going on, or your notebooks and all the great things. And thank you guys for sitting down and tuning in and watching this whole thing, I hope.
Yes.
Right? Until next time, guys. Thanks.
Got the tea, yeah.